Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Jumping in for the first road race of the new season. We are running in the rookie MX-5 series. We are at Tsukuba circuit. This is the full layout, so track that I feel like I've run a little bit, fairly comfortable with. Tend to like running. It can be a bit hairy in some of the spots, but I also feel like with it being one that I've run a little bit more, I'm fairly familiar with it and don't have to quite learn the track as much as some of the other road course layouts that I haven't run as much, so I feel like that can kind of give me an advantage. So, as always with most of my road course stuff, gonna run the full qualifying session and try to just get as many practice laps in as I can. And we'll see at the first two if we can put anything decent, and then after that we're just gonna stay out and try to learn whatever I can. Did not look to see where I was in terms of car number or anything to know if I'm towards the top of the split and potentially faster, or if I'm at the bottom and gonna have, you know, a bunch of faster guys in front of us to learn from. So, gonna do the best that we can. Overshot that corner, just didn't quite brake enough. You can see we're running off of all-time optimal lap instead of session. Really think the big thing for me to try to improve on this season is getting the car slowed down prior to getting in the corner. Not using quite as much wheel through the corner and bleeding speed off that way, scrubbing it off that way, and then really kind of making sure I'm off the brake and letting the car rotate through entry to apex the corner, and then kind of, you know, using the throttle and the wheel to take it out. So we're going to see what we can do here. Don't think this lap's going to be very good, but not a big deal. We know we can build on it for lap 2. Didn't quite get down on the apex as much as I wanted, so it's going to hurt the momentum for lap 2 as well, but we'll make up for it however we can.
P2, you've just done a 105.22.
Don't put very much stock in that P2 because we easily could have only been the second car to turn a lap time since we got out fairly early. Got a little bit too much on the curbing there and got the car a little loose, so it's going to hurt us, but hopefully we can try to clean up some of these spots a little better than the first lap and make up for it.
The car ahead has just done a 105.21. The leader's just done a 104.27.
As you can hear, we're about second off from pole position right now.
The guy behind has just done a 105.
Don't think we're going to be able to improve on that at all, but we'll see what we can do if we can get a better exit here out of the last corner. Got down a little more, try to use the curbing to help it turn. Fine with pushing a little wide into that. You can see we did go faster, just barely.
P3.
Moves us all the way up to third, but again, we'll probably still drop. Sometimes I'm convinced qualifying in this does not work well, but I always try to do this just for practice and then for good experience of trying to run in the middle of traffic and avoiding people. You can see we got one incident point there, which we're trying to avoid for the safety rating side, because I would like to build up the road safety rating a lot more than where it's at. But that's not going to be the worst deal. If we can get a 0x in the race, that'll help far more. Just kind of staying out. We'll probably get 2 more laps in, or a lap and a half in. Definitely slowed the car down way too much there. Did not mean to do that. You can see how much momentum that killed on that lap. Kind of just getting into the rhythm for it, and trying to learn my braking points again, exactly when I want to downshift and upshift. Took that one a little too hot. Also caused me to push wide, able to save it before it got in the wall. So you can see this lap's going to be really slow, but allow us to just kind of roll through reset. Some of these I feel like I don't want to turn in quite as early as I am. A couple of the other ones I feel like I'm turning in a little too late, so just trying to get that feel for where I want to be. Feel like at least got through that corner a little bit better than I had been, so that's something to build off of there. Got a little too much on the curbing there when I was hitting the putting the throttle down, so that's gonna get me loose. Curbing can definitely do that. I feel like I broke a little too late going in that corner. Same thing with that curbing. Probably slowed down a little too much, but clipped too much of the curbing. That hurt the momentum coming off of the corner. Tried to brake a little bit earlier through that corner. Come out a little cleaner. I think the bigger thing for me to learn about is, you know, by reducing those entry speeds and sliding the car and everything, it'll help me kind of reduce the tire wear that I tend to go through, which ends up giving me a little bit too much of a balance change throughout the race, and sometimes some guys towards the end, aside from just being flat out faster than me, I'm not able to quite have the I have to, you know, start lifting a little bit sooner and start getting on throttle a bit later, so allows those guys to make up momentum on me. But yeah, we were able to hold on to third, about 3/4 of a second off or so, which generally, even in the lower splits, if I'm within, you know, half a second to a second, I'm pretty happy with that. Looks like 11 out of 12 cars actually turn time, and we are third, so expected to be faster. So if we can finish where we're at, that'll be a good result. Not sure what to expect in terms of people dive bombing right off the start, so that's always a factor to be considering. Kind of almost would have preferred to be starting second or fourth or so, be on that inside line, but we'll see if we can get enough of a jump to try to get by and avoid any contact. We'll just be watching. It's hard for me on a single monitor to always be able to look forward out this view, but then also look to the side and see, you know, who's doing what.
The air temp is 78 Fahrenheit. The track temp is 130 Fahrenheit. Okay, Jake, stay calm, focus, go.
Trying to work on getting better starts. 6 is able to clear his way in. We're going to stay to the outside for right now. We were able to clear the 5. Got a terrible corner through there at 1, but we were still able to clear the 5, so able to pick up 1 spot off the start, which is nice. Just going to follow in line behind the 6, see what we can do. Just kind of want to get into a rhythm early on and just start, you know, clicking corners off and feeling comfortable with what I'm doing. Needed to tap the brakes a little bit going there. That allowed the 6 to pull away quite a bit. At least it seems like 5 is a little bit slower, so we were able to get a little bit of a gap ahead of him, which makes me feel a little more comfortable, although there are still plenty of corners for me to mess that up. But able to get away from him. Looks like we had 1 car either go to the pits already or start from the pits. And I feel like I got on a little bit early. Feels like the setup might be a little bit tighter from what I remember this car usually being.
Nice one, Jake. This is great. Come on, keep nailing those exits. V2.
Could definitely see the difference there, where the 6 is entering a little bit slower than I am, but able to come out of the corners better. So we'll definitely stand to learn a lot if we can kind of try to mirror what he's doing. Don't feel like I really have too much pressure from behind. Downshifted when I didn't need to. That was completely on me. Allowed the 6 to pull back away, probably allowed the 5 to close up a little bit. Definitely feel like we've got the potential to contend with the 6 if we keep it clean and run well. I don't really feel like we have too much to worry about with the 5. Don't know if the 12 gets by the 5, if he'll be faster and able to get to us or not, but we'll worry about that if that comes. Just trying to keep the car. It looks like I gotta wait a little bit longer to get on the throttle coming out of the last corner.
The leader has just done a 105.21. That last lap was a 105.00. The guy behind has just done a 104.83.
It'll be a pretty good battle if the 5 can keep it clean. Looks like they're running faster than us, although again I feel like making some mistakes that would allow my lap time to be a little bit faster. Got to the inside of the 6, but did not want to attempt to pass. It's probably not the best area to do it at. This is going to get pretty, looks like it'll get fairly tight between the 6, us, and the 5. Looks like the 6 had a little bit of a wiggle getting into the corner. Try to cut to the inside, see if we get a little better run out. 12 is going to try to make a move on the inside of the 5. Trying to do better at identifying corners when passing opportunity is not the smartest. So I would say that it kind of been an issue for me in the past, was just trying to take every opportunity when some of them really were not the most opportune.
That's a new fastest lap for John, 104.67.
Get ourselves off the track, unfortunately. That ruined the 0x race, but 1x is okay compared to what I normally run, if that's what we can keep it at. 6 is definitely stepping up his lap times. I'm feeling like I'm a little bit of a harder time hanging with him. Kind of keeping even with the 5 and the 12 behind us right now. But again, I could finish second and be okay with that. The racer in me, when we're this close, want to try to get the win if we can. Last corner is what I'm having problems with trying to get through. I feel like I almost need to take a little bit of a higher or later entry to Apex a little bit later and try to come out a little bit better. But every time I try to do that, I always brake too soon like that, too much, or end up messing up the corner. As you can see, there was definitely faster lap time, so
has just done a 104.67. The guy behind has just done a 104.63.
try to close up on the 6 if we can. Felt like that was a much better corner than we had been having. He gets way loose into the corner. Try to put some pressure to the outside. He'll have the advantage going into the corner. Just trying to see if I can mentally shake him at all. Just kind of, you know, give him something to think about. He's going to defend the inside big time. Actually kind of came across our nose. We're definitely quicker than him, so I'll try to run to the outside just again to make him think about what we're going to do. Knowing I have to concede the line. But let's see if we can... Oh, big slide, really. Tried to pull a crossover that didn't work by getting on the curbing. That killed all the momentum and allowed them to pull away. So definitely have to watch how better to execute a pass than that, because that allowed the 5 and the 12 to get back to us. So I think we definitely have the potential to try to get by the 6. He's making some mistakes. You can see another one there, him just washing up. But he's also pretty good at driving defensive and understanding what's going on. So just going to have to try to see if we can keep it close. See if we can either force him into another mistake or try to take advantage if he does make one in front of us. You can see that would be one, but I want to keep my nose off of him. We could have rotated a little bit better through the corner. We might have been able to pull to the inside and have the run down stretch. Got on the curbing a little too much, upset the car. It's going to wash out. little bit of a botched entry there. Did not get on the throttle the way that I wanted to and washed it up a little too much. You can see he's really struggling with pushing up in this corner. I feel like the way the back end is wiggling on him, it's not a designed push where he's picking up the throttle early. I feel like he's maybe overshooting it a hair and trying to get on the brakes a little too hard. Oh, we got on the throttle way too early. Had to lift big time to keep it from running off the track, so that's going to really allow him to pull away. That's also allowing the 6 to close up. Looks like the 6 kind of separated slightly from the 12, or excuse me, the 5 from the 12, so looks like we're kind of all spreading out right now. We're going to be just under halfway through this time by, 7 complete, 8 to go.
Okay, Jake, don't let this guy distract you. You've just done a 105.31.
Got plenty of time to come back up. If we would have been on top of the 6, that would have been a great time to take advantage of his mistake, but still doing what we can, and seeing if we can try to pull back away from the 5 now so that we don't have any pressure from behind, because if I go to make a move and it doesn't work, the 5's going to be there to take advantage. I clip the curb too much, getting on the throttle, it gets us loose. Thankfully able to still keep it in front of the 5, keep it going straight. 6 makes yet another mistake up ahead, but unfortunately because I had made a bigger one, we were not there to take advantage of it. Just got to try to clean everything up. I feel like I'm overdriving in effort to try to get to him and also pull away from the 5. I think I've probably got the potential to be the fastest out of the 3 of us, that just have to clean up the driving. And again, this could most likely be a fairly low split, so not that my fast is actually really all that fast or worth much, but for me on road racing and in relation to the other cars it is. So just gonna reset and
Okay, Jake, you're halfway home.
try to get the best lap that I can. See that this time I probably tried to apex the corner a little bit too early, get off the track. That's going to cause us to come across. That's going to be the last time I can make a mistake like that, because the 5 is there to capitalize. So now we got 2 cars to get by.
Don't panic, we'll get him back.
It's all good. I can try to stop making those mistakes. And again, right now at least, that time making that mistake put us back in 3rd, which is still not a bad spot for us compared to falling further back. I'm going to try to get to the inside and see if we can get the position. He was going to attempt the crossover, but I feel like we could get out of the corner well enough to get back by him, so all that really did was bring him a little bit closer and allowed the 6 to pull away from us quite a bit. So just got to do the best that we can to try to get back to the 6 if possible. See, right now the gap at the line is going to be 2.2, so we'll see what we can do with it over the next couple of laps. Got to remember to not get on the brake quite so late. Slower in is going to be faster out. But hopefully we can drive some clean laps, pull away from the cars behind, and try to catch him. Definitely feel like the car right off the bat feels tighter than it did before, but could also just be the way that I'm driving. It may not have changed very much. I didn't remember through the update that came out if they had updated anything in this and or the setups. Clip a little too much of the curbing there, gets a little too loose, but you can see we were able to pick up about half a second, so
You're pulling away from the guy behind. The gap's now.
it's possible that we could still get to him.
Lap time was 104.59.
But getting to him and getting by him cleanly are going to be 2 different things. Get a little too much of the curve there. Thankfully, it wasn't so far that it got us an instant point, but
Fastest lap for Smith.
that time got too much of the curve trying to get off on the inside, and it washed us up, so allows the 6 to pull back away, get everything that we had gained back. So almost feels like with 4 to go next time by, it's going to be kind of one of those just content to ride in 2nd, defend that position and take the lumps with the finish, knowing that we probably could have contended for the win if we wouldn't have made some mistakes, and that's just what we clean up for the next race. But definitely better than most of my road races go, so at least up front it was a far cleaner race than I thought. We slowed down way too much through that corner. So me, see, we lose a half second, so we're back to that 2.2, so
Sector 1 is 0.36.
try to do what we can.
Sector 2 is 0.6. Off the pace. You're 0.2 off the pace.
Try to keep it off the curb, see if these last couple laps we can put together our fastest laps of the race. I feel like I'm not doing a good job of kind of easing into the throttle through the corners. I feel like I kind of jab at it and have to lift, and I need to be a little bit smoother and a little less with the throttle application coming out of corners. Definitely closing back in on him, but again, it's more going to be a factor of the time, because getting to him is one thing, but getting by him is another thing, and if we wouldn't have made that mistake on the last lap, we probably would have had a shot at him. Didn't quite gain as much that one as the other lap when we gained, but still able to pick up 4/10.
We're matching race pace. That was 104.63.
Definitely starting to figure out how to get through that first corner just a little bit better, even though I'm losing momentum off. Again, on the throttle, a little too much while I was on the curbing. Kind of felt that, was able to react a little bit and get a bit off of it. Swinging both of these corners a little too wide. It's going to kill the momentum through there. Definitely both gaining on the 6 and pulling away from the 5, so I feel like out of the three of us, I was definitely the fastest. Just probably not going to have enough time with all the mistakes I made, so completely my fault. Know what we can clean up for next time. Used a little bit too much of the curb, pushed this wide. There's going to be another incident point, unfortunately.
We've just cut the track. 2 to go. Keep it together. We'll be on the podium.
Feel like as long as we drive fairly conservative, we should be able to finish second, but the racer in me is still trying to get as close as I can to the 6 in case he makes any more mistakes. But I think he should know that I'm not really going to have enough time to get that close to him, that he just kind of needs to put in semi-conservative laps and he'll be good to go as well. I like running on this track. This is one of them to me that's a lot of fun, so maybe that's part of why I seem to do a little bit better here at times, even though, you know, again, still a lot of unforced errors, but compared to some road races I've run, I feel like it's a lot better. Got a little too loose there on the curb. Got ourselves
Last lap.
a little offline.
That was at 104.90.
Probably slowed down a bit too much in the corner that time, and then on the throttle at the wrong time. The track again. Lost a lot of time. That's going to absolutely kill any shot of the win unless the 6 somehow goes off track. And it also brought the 5 right back to us, so we're going to drive as clean as we can to stay ahead of the 5 and pull off second. So I feel like you guys might have seen a little bit of improvement. Kept it off of cars better, tried to improve entries and exits throughout the race as best as I could, recognizing a lot better when I'm screwing them up, but still got a lot of work to do, a lot of things to clean up. Just going to take time and practice. This is definitely a lot more foreign to me compared to paved oval racing, so just trying to do my best. That's why I show you guys these. That's why I'm still in this series, because I do not feel like I'm anywhere near the fastest and that confident. So, but able to bring it home in second, which all things considered is fairly decent, especially for being car 3 and needing to be further up in order to gain anything. So park it here, take a look at the tire wear while we wait for the last couple cars to finish before we check the results, just to see You could say I wore out the left front a little bit more, which sometimes can happen depending on the difference in corners. If you have a lot tighter corners to one side than the other, you can cause a difference in road racing, but oftentimes you don't want there to be a drastic difference. So probably tells me that I was coming in too hot to all of the tight right-handers compared to many of the left-handers, because there's a few of them and you would have seen this number be a little bit closer to this if I had been. So this gives me something to work on driving next time and try to improve. So we will check and see if the results are up yet. Looks like they should be, I believe. So we'll jump in and take a look at those. Hopefully something positive comes out of it. I think we should gain both safety and iRating, even though I would have liked to gain a little more in safety, and they are not quite up yet. So we'll wait and see. Not sure if the four. Everybody should be finished, so take a look at it now and see if they're up. There we go, they are up. All right, so you can see we were 5th out of 12 splits, 13-16 strength of field. So again, overall very, very weak, but for me, that's probably right around where we are. You can see we were actually just about 400ths off the fastest lap. The 11 turned that 104.529. We were at a 104.565. Definitely faster. The 12 actually had a little bit more speed, but I think he might have burned off on the back end because he just wasn't quite able to hang with us. All fairly tight though here. Um, from 6th all the way up to 1st. You're at a 670, 687, 554. So, all within basically a tenth and a half, which I would say that's really competitive. For instance, looks like at the back it was a bit rough, but everybody up front fairly clean. All of ours, thankfully, were just off tracks. Not like we made any contact with anybody, which makes me feel a little bit better than if I'm still not able to drive around cars very well. And I think we did execute a fairly clean pass to get back by the 5. Maybe slightly aggressive trying to take it as early as we did, but I feel like it's fairly clean, respectable. Able to gain 78 in I rating, so just getting closer to that 1350 where you start at. I know I had a bad run and fell down really bad, so trying to clean it back up and get it back up there. Gain 0.18 in the safety rating is also trying to work that up to 4.0 so we can get promoted to a C class just to open up a few more options if I decide to run something different. But yeah, gonna stick on this for a while, continue to run this, and keep trying to work on getting faster so I can just keep moving my way up in these, move my way up in the splits, be faster, and learn a lot. I know a lot of people say between these and the skip barbers, they really learn a lot about road course driving because of the car dynamics and the power to weight ratio and everything. So may also try skip barber at some point in time. Feel free to leave comments below if you guys want to see that. As always, feel free to leave any comments below for driving suggestions, tips, anything like that. Love hearing from you guys. Love the feedback. Love the encouragement when you guys provide that as well. It's awesome. It makes me feel good for what I'm doing. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. At least able to get a decent finish, a little bit better than some of the races I've had lately. So nice to get a podium and at least get by a car and improve a little bit. So make sure you like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel big time. And stay tuned for the next video. Until next time, hopefully all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.